Hey, what's up, team? I just wanted to show you guys how to make a quiz for Google Classroom, since that's the direction we're heading. I'm guessing we haven't used this quiz feature a lot before, so I wanted to go over it. It's a little bit more complicated, mainly doing this for myself. If you guys feel like watching the video, then hey, props to you. So there's like 3 things that you need to learn how to do in order to get the quiz to function effectively, and I'm just going to go over them real quick. So the first thing is going to be making sure, obviously, that we have our quiz made. So in order to make a quiz, you got to go into Drive and make a Google form. So it's all done through Google Forms, which is something we're at least familiar with. And once you get into Google Forms, you set it into quiz mode, and that will make your life a lot easier. So let's go and figure out how to make these forms quick, and I'll show you how to set it up as a quiz. So we're going to go into Google Form and then turn it into a quiz. All right, so I'm going to transfer over to that quick. So here I am in my Google Drive. If you want to make a new quiz or any quiz, you go click on this new button right here, and then you go into, it should be listed in here, go to More, Google Forms. Click on that. Okay, so this should be a familiar setup. We've made forms in class for our classes before. We work with them relatively frequently. In order to turn it into a quiz, you just got to go up to this little cog, I guess, and click on that. Go over to the Quiz tab. And then you'll see right here it says make this a quiz and assign point values and do auto grading. Super cool. Yes, I want to do that. What's unique, and I didn't know this, is it has a mode where you can lock it for Chromebooks. Obviously, kids are going to be using lots of different technology for the online learning that we're going to be doing, but in the future, during the school year, this is a really handy feature because then when they're taking the quiz in your class, they can't go on other sites. But it will not work for our purposes for distance learning, since they won't all have Chromebooks. Okay, so then you can give them their grade back right away after they take it. That's what this setting does. And then you can also set it to after manual review, which means the teacher has to score it themselves and then release the grade. Obviously, if you want to make it easier for yourself, just click immediately after each submission. And then down here, obviously you can set these to whatever your preferences are. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Save, put a title on it. We'll call it Practice Form. Oh, I got it. COVID-19 quiz. Okay, we can put a little description on it. How can you protect yourself? Cool. All right, so we got that started. You'll notice I've titled the quiz here, but it hasn't updated up here. Make sure you just click right there and it automatically puts the title in for the quiz that you've created. So far we're on track. We went to Google Drive. We made a new form, and then we went into settings and set the form to be a quiz. So going back into our list of things we need to do, we've got our quiz set up. Next thing we need to do is actually create the questions. And along with this, what we can do is we can go ahead and do things like assign points. We can also, through this, give feedback, which is kind of cool. And I'll show you how to do both those things right now. So I'm going to flip back over into our quiz that we have created. All right, here we are back in the quiz. I'm going to zoom in on this a little. Okay, never mind, I can't. So what you're going to do is create your first question. This quiz is about COVID. How about an example question would be, should you wash your hands frequently for 20 seconds? Cool, what a great question. Now I can change what type of response I want from the students. This question obviously is like either true or false, yes or no type of thing, so I'm going to choose the multiple choice option, and then I'm just going to go yes or no. Okay, so I've created a question right here, put my 2 answers in. Now what I do is I click on the answer key, and once I've selected and gone into the answer key mode, I just choose the correct answer. which is yes. And you'll see it turns it green, puts a little check mark by it, and then I can assign it points right here. I'll give it 1 point. Add feedback. If they choose no, you will say, what are you doing with your life? How have you not heard this before? The correct answer, you could say, fantastic. Maybe try singing a quick verse of a song you know to make sure you rinse long enough. Cool. Alright, so now you can see I'm still in my answer key mode. I've selected the right answer, I've given feedback for correct and incorrect answers, and then I can just click done. Obviously, if I want to edit them, I can click on the pen icons here or the trash barrel icons. Awesome, we made our first question. All right, so I'm just playing around a little bit more. I added an image. I looked up, you can use Google Images, Google image search. I searched up symptoms and I found this cool picture of Gumby, or I think that's Gumby, but whatever. So I said, this is Gumby. Gumby doesn't feel well. What symptoms might Gumby have if he has COVID-19? And then I wrote a question right below and then came up with these answers. So again, this is just another thing that you could add into your quiz if you want to. You can also do things like add separators if there's different sections for your content, like maybe you're learning about the Civil War and one section's about the people, one section's about the geography, I don't know. You can also add different titles and subsections in your quiz as well with these. So that's an example of that. So I'm just going to hit done. I'm pretty happy with the way this quiz is looking. I'm ready to add it to Google Classroom. All right, so in order to do this last step, all we need to do is insert this like an assignment to Google Classroom, and then we can have our students go ahead and start taking it, and they will automatically get feedback if you program that in. They'll automatically get their score back right away. And then you also can have Google Classroom grade it for you and put it into the gradebook right away. You do have to click one button that I'll show you in a second. So we're going to create it as an assigned quiz. And then I'll show you how to collect responses. Okay, so there we go. Those are the three things that we're doing. We went to Google Drive, we made a Google form, then we turned it into quiz mode by going into settings. Then we did added some questions in, we assigned it points, we made feedback, we put some pictures and other things in. Now we're going to add this quiz to Google Classroom, which I'm going to show you next, and then assign the quiz and show you how to collect responses. Right, here I am in Google Classroom. This is our lovely COVID-19 experience classroom. I've gone from stream to classwork, and I'm going to assign our quiz now. So I'm going to hit create, and right here, quiz assignment. That's the one I need to click if I want this quiz to work correctly. So I'm going to hit that, and then we're going to call it the COVID-19 quiz. Fake. Do not trust. Okay. Obviously, you can put in any instructions you want the kids to know. Please take the quiz to share what you know. All right. And then it does automatically generate a blank quiz for you. I don't want that quiz. We already made our quiz. So I'm going to click Add, Google Drive. And then, since we just made our quiz, it should be right there. And here it is, right under Recent COVID-19 Quiz. Add. Cool. All right, so there it is. We don't want it locked on Chromebooks. If you choose that and somebody doesn't have a Chromebook, they cannot take the quiz. So that's a huge problem. Don't do that. And then we also want to make sure that grade importing is set to be on. That way it will be able to pull it straight from the form and put it into Google Classroom and auto grade, basically. All right, let's see. We can assign points here. I think this quiz is only worth 2 points. It does figure that out on its own, but you can update it right away. Due date, we don't really care about. Let's create a topic for classroom quiz. And then I'll post this video and the quiz into there and we can see it. All right. Excellent. Looks good. Assign. All right, so now right there, we can see it. It's in our topics, classroom quizzes, and students can go ahead, take the quiz, they can get feedback on the quiz, and get their score right away. So what I'm going to do next is switch into a student account, and I'll show you what it looks like from their end. Right, here I am. Now I'm in student mode. You can see I signed in as the generic student account. I can go to my classwork, and here's my quiz. I'm going to go ahead and take it. It's got all the information. It tells you who you're signed in as. Should you wash your hands? No, I think you don't need to. Be okay. I think these are the symptoms. Send me a copy of my responses. They can choose that if they want to. I'm just going to hit submit and see what happens. Alright, so it says it's marked as done. I can view my score right away. And here it gives me my feedback that I had programmed in. What are you doing with your life? Okay, this is an example of bad feedback. Don't do this. But you can see the functionality and how it works. And it's really cool. Really simple to set up, pretty straightforward actually. Like I said, there's a number of steps to get everything working correctly, but it's will be a pretty powerful tool for us in terms of grading. Alright, so that's pretty much everything that you need to see from the student end. I'm going to click over here. Oh, let's see. Alright, so now I'm back on my teacher account, and I can go in to look at, see I've got one turned in already, so I'm going to open this up quick. And right now it doesn't have a score for my student, but when I feel like I want to collect grades, all I got to do is hit this import grades button right here. So if I hit import grades, remember I got one of the questions wrong, I should get a 1 out of 2. And there it is. Alright, so there you go. That's how you set up a quiz. I can go show you the rundown one more time. Yeah, if you can make sense of my handwriting, here it is. Again, we started with Google Drive, made a form, went to the settings, turned it into a quiz. Then what we did is we went ahead and made the actual quiz itself. We put in the points, we gave it feedback. Then what we did is we added it into Google Classroom by clicking Assign Quiz, and then we collected the responses when we were ready. So there you go. I hope you enjoy the video, and let me know if you have any questions.